Good morning, friend. It is Amber here with Your Brand by Design, and I am so excited to be here. This is my very last Facebook Live in 2018. Well, it's my last formal Facebook Live in 2018. As we head into the new year, it's absolutely a time of reflection. It is absolutely a time of planning and processing and going through all those things. And I want to encourage you to do a couple of different things. First of all, it's really easy to get super excited and add all the stuff. You're going to be networking and you're going to write a book and you're going to go to all the events and you're going to do just everything. Take a minute to decide what's worth adding and what maybe isn't. And the only way you can decide is by looking at your brand. So it's all about what gets to stay, what gets to go, and what gets to come on new. It's the new year, so what gets to start new? There are two different ways I would love to help you get through this process, and then I have a bonus at the very end if you stick with me. So first is the strategy. This is the part where you go through and figure out who you really are, make sure it's still in alignment with your core values. What are you projecting? What are you putting out there? More importantly, what are you hiding? What are you still playing small? What are you still allowing to be this much when it could be this much? What are you keeping it there? Good morning, Javine. Good morning. So what are you still hiding? What are you letting come out, and what are you letting come out just a little bit? So figure out who you are, your story, your unique voice. Figure out your genius zone. What are you doing that is so amazing that it lights you up, and you could do it for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days and still make this face the entire time? What lights you up? That's your genius zone. Quit doing stuff that makes you go, it's okay, it's fine, Do stuff that's amazing. And then, of course, you get to talk about your ideal client. Who are you really serving? This is a big part of the letting it go. This is whether you call it firing, whether you call it cutting the fat, trimming the fat. You can call it bless and release. Who are those people in your life, clients, coworkers, colleagues, partners, coaches? Who is it that you're still in your life that really, they're no longer serving you? And even more importantly, you're unable, unwilling, uncertain of how to serve them best. If they are not perfect for you, if they are not ideal, let them go. Let it go. Release. Find someone else to refer them to. If they are not meant for you, this is a struggle you don't need to carry into the new year. Just let it go. That's part of the strategy. So you find your voice, you find your genius zone, you connect with your fans, and then of course you craft your message. How are you going to talk to them? How do you speak to them in the new year? Are there new phrases you want to try out? Is there a phrase that used to work for you that doesn't anymore? I know for me, I used to use the word joy. Joy is a big word for me. At this point, I have let that go. I use the word thrill because it makes me make that face more. And there's nothing wrong with the old words. They just aren't as good as the new ones. Does that make sense? So figure out as you're going into 2019, what gets to walk with you? What do you keep? That's the strategy part. The second part I want to talk to you just briefly about is the implementation. How are you, now that you have all this amazing stuff, what do you do with it? Where do you go? Who do you share it with? What do you do with it? Do you network? Do you go to events? Do you speak? Do you write a book? How does all that look in 2019? Part of that is, let's say you network. We're all in the business of building relationships. It doesn't matter what your widget is. We're all in the business of building relationships. So you have this great brand that you've created, your voice, this great foundation of your brand. So now what? When you go to a networking event, how do you introduce yourself? How do you engage? How do you connect? How do you make it more than just two strangers passing in the night? How do you support and nurture the relationships that are really worth keeping? How do you, in an instant, figure out if they're for you or if you're for them? Or if you can connect them to someone else? Or if, honestly, you're going to be great colleagues and that's about it. That's out of the relation. How do you implement that? That's that next step. After the strategy has the implementation. You also get to talk about how do you close the sale? And that sounds so harsh and so cold, but how do you get to the point of a relationship where it becomes an easy yes and an easy no? Because both of those are fine answers, right? If any of you have ever had a sales conversation, which I sure hope you have, if you are in that conversation and you get I don't know, send me some more information, you haven't expressed yourself clearly. Because honest and truly, with the exception of you need to work out timing and budgets, etc., your ideal clients should be an instant yes, and the ones who aren't should be an instant no. And if you're getting a lot of maybes, call me in a week, let me think about it, maybe send me some more information, you need to be more clear in your speech, because ideally what you get is an instant yes, instant no. They either know you're for them or they know you're not. And either one is perfect, right? Again, goes back to those ideal clients. If they're not yours, it's okay. So you've got some networking strategy to put into place. You get to have some, if you're going to be online, if you're going to be social. My color just went so funky. Let's try that. Still very yellow. We'll have to see. Doesn't matter. Color or not. Depends on, let's talk about your social platforms. Which ones are you going to be on? How often are you going to post? How are you going to repurpose your content? That's all that second part of that. That's all that implementation. So you know this information, you know these steps. I have really exciting news. 2 months from yesterday, I'm going to be holding a full day event. So I want you to save the date. There's more information coming. February 26th, that's a Tuesday. Plan on coming to a Monetize Your Message Summit. We're going to cap it at about 18 people. I'm working with a couple of amazing speakers. I specialize in the strategy. I'm bringing in someone who, and collaborating with a woman who does all implementation, does the sales, does the networking, does all the implementation, making it make money for you. And then we're also going to have a special guest during lunch. But save the date. There's more information coming. It's February 26, 2019. We will see you there. Please, whatever else you decide to do, be super picky about what you take with you into the next year. Not all of it's fun. Not all of it's amazing. Not all of it makes you smile. Not all of it is an absolute thrilling experience for you. That's one of the easiest things to create for 2019. Let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, making room for the stuff that does, and be super picky about what you bring on. Don't just join a networking group because it's available. Make sure that it's for you. Don't just start posting on a social platform because it's available. Make sure it's for you. And have a happy, safe, and amazing new year. Rock on.